Hi! Welcome back to my channel. So if this is your first time visiting my corner of the internet, then a massive welcome to you. Philomena is my name. I run a lifestyle blog called enhancedbyzeros.com where I talk about 3 main areas. So making beauty, health and fitness, and dating and relationships. So this YouTube channel is basically an extension of my blog where I focus on the dating and relationship aspect of it. Now, if you've clicked this video, then you've obviously watched Genderquake. I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm so happy. So, for those of you who haven't watched it yet, I'll leave a link down below. But basically what it is, it's a 2-part Channel 4 documentary that explores gender and sexuality in today's world. That's all you're getting. I was in it, obviously, amongst 10 other beautiful and intelligent people from different sides of the gender spectrum, and we all had like different discussions and debates about gender, what it means to be a man and a woman, or neither. So yeah, I think you have like 26 days or so to watch it on the Channel 4 app, so I'll leave a link down below. So for those of you who have watched it, obviously you know about all the drama and whatnot. So yeah, I just wanted to read a few of the tweets and the responses that I got to what happened in the house. I'll start off though with the first night. So on the first night, I had a bit of an altercation with one of the girls because of what I said about what it means to be a woman. So basically what I said was like, what separates a woman from a man is the ability to bring life to this world. That's the defining factor of womanhood. I pride myself in having a womb and having the ability to bring life, blah, 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 blah. It was much longer than that, so obviously if you watched it, you knew how it went down exactly. Well, not exactly how it was edited to go down, but we won't get into that. So I'm just going to read out some of the responses and the tweets that people tweeted because of it. What? Excuse me, I can't edit this video, so I'm just gonna have to make mistakes and stuff. You're gonna have to deal with it, okay? So the first thing from Disability Girl. Disability. It is disability, yeah. Disability gal. Okay, cool, whatever floats your boat. I wonder if Philomena would hand in her woman card if she ever had to undergo a hysterectomy. It isn't hard. Some women have wombs, some don't. Some men have wombs, some don't. You can't tell from the outside, and it's none of your business anyway. Hashtag TERFs are trash. This bitch just called me a TERF. What the hell? I only actually discovered what that word meant like a week and a half ago. Are you serious? I'm being mislabeled as, for those of you who don't know, TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. These are basically like hardcore feminists who are like all for women's rights as long as you're not trans women. And I'm just like, I don't even identify as a feminist to begin with. So like, that is offensive as fuck. How dare you call me a TERF? Oh my god. This is from Ada. These names are weird. I'm just gonna read this instead of reading the names. They're just some weird ass people. So Philomena is gonna get slated for giving her own individual opinion. Hashtag Genderquake. Jackie Newman. So if a woman has a hysterectomy, she's no longer a woman. Nasty, nasty Philomena. Hashtag Genderquake. Dawn Thompson, a woman from Ireland. There you go. Not every natural woman with a womb or a uterus can have children. So what does that make them? Hashtag Genderquake. Hashtag Philomena. Maggie May says, what is it? That's a wrong quote. She misquoted me. But anyways, it says, you have to have a womb to be a woman. Philomena, like, excuse me. No, you fucking don't. So damn rude. Do people have hearing problems? I'm starting to think that half of Twitter actually has hearing problems and they need hearing aid. Like, seriously. Someone else says, I hope Philomena comes good and learns a lot. What else do we have here? Nigel. Hashtag Genderquake. Philomena, my god, talk about ignorant. You're no more female than a transgender female. You may have a uterus and a womb to bring life, but you can't do that without a man's sperm. Talk about mansplaining. Like, seriously, I actually love the response to this. Someone actually jumped to my defense and said, actually, scientists have already discovered that you can successfully fertilize eggs without sperm. Sperm is fairly cheap and replaceable when it comes to creating human life. So there you go. Hashtag I need a man. And someone else said, this is Marina Beckham. I wonder what it will do to Philomena's self-identity if it turns out she can't have children, as is the case for many women. Well, I'll be suicidal. So sorry, so bad. So someone responded and goes, in fairness to her, she didn't mention fertility or childbearing. She spoke about female sex organs, not gender. Yes, thank you. And this is exactly it, because obviously going into the house, I thought that sex and gender were exactly the same thing, which I just pinned down to, like, you know, language or whatever else. Whereas now I know that sex is more like about biology and your body, whereas gender is more about like your identity and your, like, your mind, your body and your soul. So you can shove that comment up your bum. That same person was defending me and said she distinguished herself from being a male based on objective existence of female sex organs. She didn't dispute gender. I love this person. Can we just be friends? Like, can we just be friends? Like, seriously, I love this person. And then they also said, I think fertility is completely independent of this to some extent. Questions and open discussions are critical in terms of this issue. And within this, it's important not to put words in people's mouths. Yes, I love it. I really do. Then someone else said, no offense intended, but what Philomena said is true. No matter how you see yourself or identify, a man will never be able to know how it feels to give birth. #Genderquake. And someone else replied to that and said, not all cis women will. Does that make them less of a woman? Then someone else said, so if a cis woman cannot give birth, that makes her less of a woman. And then someone else said, neither will an infertile woman. Okay, so this is just, actually, let me read this comment as well before I get into it. No, I'll get into that comment after. So basically, this whole notion that a certain group of women can be more of a woman than another group, like, that's ridiculous. I can't even conceptualize that in my mind. So for people to actually twist my words and make it seem like that's what I'm saying, I think that actually says more about their own internal prejudices than it does about any prejudice they think I have. Because, like, when I'm explaining to you, like, you know, being a woman to me means X, Y, and Z, it's from my own personal and subjective experiences. Like, that is all I know. That's the only way I can identify as a woman. And, like, the metrics I use to measure my womanhood are as valid as anyone else's. Just because it doesn't match your identity, your female identity, doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean I'm putting someone else down. Like, people seem to forget that I am, like, my parents are African. I am of African descent, in case you haven't noticed. So, I mean, you know, it's common. It's quite common for people in the African community to kind of look at, like, you know, a woman pushing her 30s and, like, not having kids. Like that woman is regarded as not being a real woman, not being an actual woman because she's single and doesn't have kids. So, I mean, I know what it feels like for people to put me down for that very reason. So why would I go around doing the same to others? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, you know? What else? XYR Coops. Philomena's comments about wombs and uteruses were transphobic and I expect racist. How are they racist? What? She deserved the backlash. So someone defended me and goes, how were they racist? And someone else said, no, they were biological fact. You can only imitate another gender. You cannot become one. And then someone else said, so you are being transphobic because you point out biological facts. Get a grip. And someone else said, really? So women are not born with a womb and men are? Oh my God. Okay. So I just feel like, do you know what it is? I feel like we are getting way too caught up in trying to define something that's very much unique and subjective to each and every individual. So, you know, no two cisgender women identifying the same way. Yes, I may use, like, my body, my biology to measure my womanhood, but not everyone will do that. Like, I know a lot of feminists who would be very offended by the very thought that being a woman means anything to do with biology. And I know other women who very much whose womanhood centers in, you know, periods and their biology. So it really does differ depending on what woman you're speaking to. So I think what it really comes down to is just, like, accepting that there's going to be differences in, you know, whether you're cisgendered or, like, transgender. Like, there's always going to be differences regardless, and we should be embracing these differences. Because as someone who's, like, fucked up as shit and a weirdo, I'm all about differences and just, like, embracing individuality. Because at the end of the day, like, no two people are the same. No two people are going to identify as being a woman in the same way, but we're all equal, and that's, like, the biggest thing people should take away from it, you know? Deuces. But But yeah, overall the feedback was pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Obviously, got a bit of backlash, but that was expected. I'll definitely be doing a part 2 video of this, just where I'll be reading out comments about the whole Romario situation. So I'm such a freak. But yeah, definitely let me know if you've watched Genderquake. Let me know what your thoughts are and everything else. Leave a comment down below. And yeah, it's all good. We're all good. Meeting the girls honestly was the best experience ever. Like, I was so emotional after it as well. Like, I'm just an emotional wreck anyways. Like, I was literally bawling, crying after the week ended. And like, even now, just watching the show back on Monday and Tuesday and then being in the live debate, it was just all so overwhelming for me. It just brought back all the emotions and all the feelings, and I was just like, I can't deal with this. So being a woman means being a psycho, basically. But yeah, definitely watch Genderquake if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below if you have, and let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on the whole thing. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'm so sorry I'm literally just like chalk. I can't edit at the moment, so I'm like a homeless person who has to have like basic editing tools. But yeah. This has to stop. Okay, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Oops, there goes my phone. Okay, I'll see you soon. I'll see you in part 2 of reading weird and funny and mean tweets about gender. My phone is calling me. I have to go. Bye.